Welcome back to this three-part documentary on risk. While in the last video we examined the American West as a manifestation of America's risk tolerance.
In this video, we're going to be looking into a different type of frontier, the financial markets.
The American West, as we understood it, does not exist right now. In 1890, the frontier closed.
Now there aren't gold rushes, land grants, or a lack of government presence
Anywhere in the US. But I don't think we've stopped looking for risk. I think the frontier of risk has just moved. But moved where?
I would argue that our risk behavior has moved to the financial markets and the digital frontier, where triple leveraged options, NFTs, and virtual real estate offer us the modern version of the independence of the Wyoming prairie.
The same instinct that led prospectors to search for gold is now pushing them to buy shares of GLD. Our image of the lone cowboy can now be replaced by a retail investor. These financial cowboys are the reasons behind the chaos that's happened with AMC, GameStop, and so many other companies that have been influenced by these unusual retail movements.
But what makes me think this? Well, I think a lot of it starts at the .com bubble,
Who says online users are a bunch of antisocial geeks?
where tons of capital flew into tech companies when everyone was going crazy over the invention of the internet. While there had been recessions and market bubbles before, I think this differs from a typical correction because it characterized a herd mentality around the internet, something that is still present now. Companies were willing to overlook poor financials for a vision of the future. And also, with the introduction of the internet,
More and more people had access to financial education and brokerage services.
looking forward, the internet has allowed companies like Robinhood to exist that have revolutionized brokerage services and have now forced the industry to offer zero commission trading on any stock. Looking beyond that, the 2008 financial crisis characterized another side of risk. This crisis was partially caused by people having too much access to cheap credit, and then people over-leveraging themselves financially and taking on more risk than they could afford, with the government and rating agencies turning a blind eye. This great collapse goes to the point of condensed risk.
With the expansion of big government and big business, bigger risks now cause bigger collapses, sending our systems into chaos.
Whereas before, the individual could succeed or fail. Now with bigger centralized markets, there is a greater societal risk of collapse. This issue is only worsened when societal aspects come into play. During these booms, the risks seem practically non-existent and the rewards higher than ever.
The 2008 financial crisis created two things,
It led to a societal mistrusting of financial institutions.
which largely caused the recession and got off scot-free, and
It gave more power to the government to step in and control financial markets. Fast forward to the pandemic, these factors have only grown, and further show that financial markets are the new manifestation of risk. Despite student debt levels reaching all-time highs and the government giving out money through stimulus checks, almost half of the stimulus money for COVID relief was spent on stocks. It's no coincidence that the retail investor movement gained incredible fame at that time with stocks like GameStop, AMC, and others. By unifying together through platforms like Wallstreetbets, these otherwise weak retail investors were able to go toe-to-toe with giant institutional funds and win. At a time when COVID restrictions limited people's real-life opportunities, people took what they had, a stimulus check, and access to financial markets, and ran wild. Modern problems require modern solutions, and the modern solution to no frontier is to make a new one. From StockX to Bitcoin to NFTs, a new frontier is being created. While I don't know whether the blockchain will fail, or whether we will all live in virtual reality, or whether AI will take over the world, I know that there are certain consistencies. Whether looking at Buddhist, Greek, or modern American philosophies, there is an innate desire to take risks.
While this force pushing humanity towards the edge can sometimes be scary, I'm comforted by the fact that we have survived, and I think we will survive. So, in the words of Steve Jobs, stay hungry, stay foolish. I'll see you guys next time.